And welcome back, guys. Today I'm looking at Abbyy FineReader 15. Now I've downloaded the demo version, so I've got 39 days to play around with it, but I thought I'd do a quick video just to give you the basics. I have done previous versions of this, so I won't go deep into the settings here. Just want to get you up and running quickly. So when you start Abbyy FineReader 15, this is what you principally get, is your new task window. So you can select what you want to do. Now what I recommend doing before doing anything else is come down to bottom left hand corner for me and select options, because you need to preset things up before you start, especially if you're using a scanner. So at the top here we've got when OCR editor starts, so you can choose to open with a new OCR project, or if you prefer, open the last used OCR project. Now OCR stands for optical character recognition, so what you could do is you could select open last used OCR project, so when you open up your program new task window you get this option, but I always like to choose the first option to start afresh. Underneath, really important, you need to select your train. Now your train stands for, and what you need to do on the right here is select device and then select your scanner device. My scanner driver is there. I'm using a TW Brother. I've also got the Epson, but I'm using a TW Brother today. And select your train there by clicking on it. Now the difference between WIA and train is WIA is better for cameras and say webcams, and WIA uses a common dialog for all devices, but train is created by the device manufacturer. That tends to work better, but again you can try it out. So I'm going to leave that on train and select OK. Underneath it's asking you here, do you want to use the FineReader's interface, scanners only, or use cameras interface? So if you've got specific software, you can use that software to scan with, but I like to use the Abbyy FineReader software, so it keeps it all compatible and it seems to work well. Quickly come up to imaging processing. I won't go over everything here with you, but let's have a couple of options quickly. I would leave this default, come to the next option. I always leave ticked correct page orientation, so it puts it around the correct way for you. You can always change it in the editor anyway. Also use recommended settings for better OCR as well. So if I select common settings, you can see all the settings for that. Now I leave everything as default, but if there's a couple of things you might need to change if you're doing something specific like convert to black and white. Maybe you want to get rid of motion blur depending on what you're doing. Maybe white and background, but you can play around with that, but I'm going to hide that. Also, split facing pages. What this does is auto corrects common defects on scans and digital photos, so it will automatically split images that contain facing pages. So it's up to you whether you want to do that, but again I'd leave everything default as you see. Go to language and then important, select your language here. I've specified English, but again you can automatically select OCR languages from the following list. If I select specify, and then you can choose specific languages, so it actually recognises the language and it can convert it for you. Really great option. Here's your OCR. Again, I'd leave that as you see it, but always make sure you've got thorough recognition, so it does really thorough scans. Unless you're doing hundreds and hundreds of pages, then you might want to do a little bit quicker and it might not have no effect on the scan. Again, we've got document type auto, fax or typewriter. Again, you can leave everything else as it is. Go to format settings, and again you can leave that as it is because we can change that later. Then click OK. So before we start, you've now set everything up ready to go. So the first thing we'll do is actually open a PDF and convert that. So come to the top here, I'm on open, and select open PDF. Do a left click, find yourself a PDF. So I'm going to look for, I've got my dragon commands there. Select that, that's in portable document format. I'm going to select open. Again, this is great for journals if you need to convert them into a readable format. And there we go, there's my PDF. So I've got some basic options at the top here. For example, I could rotate it if I want. I could add more pages from a file, from a scanner, or even a blank one. I could crop it, so I select crop, and then crop what I want to crop if I need to as well. I could recognise the page image, so I'm going to do recognise and verify in OCR editor. Let it do its work. And as you can see, it will split screen. It will try and recognise that PDF on the left and put it into a readable Word format on the right. Well, not quite a Word format yet because we haven't sent it into Word, but it's in an editable format. Now let's have a look what we've got. Now at the bottom here, if I scroll down, this is your original image and it's all zoomed in so you can have a look at it and check it to make sure it's okay. I want to scroll back up. You can move this window, hold the left button and drag up and down depending on the size you want to work with that. Now on the left, that's the original PDF. Everything you see in green, if I come up here it says text, it's recognised that as text. Now that's really important to check that, because if I now come to the right and scroll to the bottom, right, you see nuance on either side. It's seen that as a text, but the problem is it's not a text because it's an image. Can you see the symbol? And it's missing that out. Now you're probably wondering what those little blue neon colours are. They indicate it can't quite recognise what that is. So what we could do with this is if I come up here, I could select picture, which is red, come down, hold the left button and drag around that image. And if I scroll back down, now I'm going to re-recognise that and see if it picks it up. Let's have a little look. And there you go. You see it's now got the symbol and the text, so it's actually seen it as an image. So for a few things you might need to do that just to tidy up your PDFs. Let me scroll back up. Now the other option we've got here, now if I go to the bottom bit, zoom in option and scroll up, we've got a problem here with the nuance and the option here, where registered trademark. But if you look at this one in here, it's kind of worked okay, so I'm happy with that because it's still got the R there. But let's scroll down a bit more because we've got a problem. We'll click here and it doesn't quite see the close quote right. But there again, it's fine again, so I can leave that. So that scan's pretty good. Now if I come up to here, I can select send. Save as a searchable PDF, so you can type in and search for things in that PDF. Or you may just want to save that PDF again, it's just as a portable document format where you can't edit it or search it. Save to Word, or you might even want to send that to Excel workbook. I don't know if you ever use EPUB, but you can use electronic publication, or even save to a website as a HTML. But what I'm going to do is send this to Word. And there you go, it pops up automatically. And there we can see that page I've done. There's a spelling error there, but that's the American spelling, so it's not actually a spelling error. And that way now you can delete, copy, paste. And remember in Word, if I click on the beginning here, and if we come up to the option where it says review and read aloud, you've now got a read aloud option.
Principles.
So that's quite handy as well. But I'm going to close that and don't save. So that's converting a PDF. Let's go back to top left hand corner and select new task. Now I'm going to try a scan. Now we set this up earlier. Well, hopefully you've set this up earlier. So now I'm going to have a go at scanning from my scanner. So I've got a few options here. I can scan to PDF format, scan to Word, or even scan to Excel, which is really handy. Scan to image file. So if I select that, I can choose which image file I want to scan to. So you do a lot of image editing and that could become really useful. Click this drop down menu. You've got your basic one there, which is pretty compressed JPEG, all the way through to your PNG. So I want to scan first quickly to, let's do quite a big file, PNG. And I'm going to select scan PNG. Before I do, remember image processing settings. Click on that, make sure you're happy with everything. I'm happy with that. Click save and then just click scan to PNG. Give it a little while. It's going to take a bit longer than mine. I've just got it through Wi-Fi. And then your image should open up automatically. I want to finish scanning. I don't want to scan anything else. And then I can choose where I want to save it to. You see how it's turned it around automatically for me on the left. But I'm going to click cancel. Come to the left. It's just one image there. I can save that image. I can trash certain pages I don't want. And again, I can rotate them. If I click the three little dots here, I can send that straight to email if I want to save me time. But again, I'm going to come out of there, do new task. Again, I'm going to go back to scan. But this time, I'm going to scan straight to OCR editor. Click on it. Now at the top here, I've got an option. If it's really a detailed image you want to scan, then I'd probably go for, if it's small text, 600 or even up to 1200. But not all scanners do up to 1200 dots per inch, so bear that in mind. But I'm going to do 600 as an example. I can choose the brightness if I want, and even the colour. I'll click on it. So I might want grey, optional for OCR, black and white. A4 paper's fine. I've got my flatbed I'm using. I've got a document feeder, but I've only got the one file, and I can scan one page. So what that means is every 10 seconds you can set it, or 20 seconds, to automatically scan. So you can put your page in, then go back, put another page in 10, 20 seconds later, so you can keep going. What I'm going to do then, I'm just going to select scan. This might take a bit longer as I'm doing a higher dots per inch. And then give it a second to send it over. And you probably won't notice any difference because it's not small text. Click finish. But if you've had tiny small text or really detailed text, that will pick up even better and give you more accuracy. Now I'm going to go back to new task. Now I'm going to go to scan, and I'm going to scan to Microsoft Word. Again, we've got options at the top, but I'm going to drop that down to 300 dots per inch. If you've got really detailed text, then you'd go for small text, which is 600 dots, or even higher to 1200. But the file will be a lot larger, it'll take a lot longer, so bear that in mind. You've got your brightness there if you want to change that, and your colouring options. See here underneath, it's got keep pictures, keep headers, footers and page numbers. So try and keep the continuity for you. Also, I've got English text, and I want to preserve the formatting. But if you want a sat copy, or maybe you just want it for editable copy, or maybe plain text, you can change that, which will change the fonts as well. If I go to more options, you can change how you want it actually converted into a Word document. You can see it keep pictures, compact size or best quality. Again, you've got to play around with that to get that right. I'm going to click scan to Word. And again, if I click finish scanning, it should turn it around with orientation automatically for me. And I can choose where I want to save it to as a Word document. But I'm going to cancel that again because I don't want to save it yet. Because again, you can see there's a few errors here. For this example, we've got a mixture of a symbol and text, and you can see where it's not actually picked it up correctly. So again, I could go picture, hold the left button and make the whole lot an image, which will convert it a lot better. Again, you need to play around with that. Just a quick point, if you ever come across any barcodes, there's an option you need to do, because it actually sees barcodes differently. So for example, let's just say down here was a barcode. I know it's a link. I'm going to right click it, and we've got an option that says change area to type. Come along, and if you left click barcode, that will change it to barcode, so actually pick it up correctly as a barcode. You can right click on any of them actually, and then you can actually change the area type to whatever you want. So you've got tables, really important. It does pick up tables anyway, so tables will be blue. You've got pictures, which will be red. Background pictures, which is up here. It's like a, what do you call that, like a dark reddish pinkish colour. You've got barcodes down there, which is highlighted a light green, and you've got your recognition area here, which you can recognise again an area if you need to. So once you've done your changes, then obviously you can then send it to Word using the Word option there. But if you've got an Amazon Kindle, you can send it straight to Amazon Kindle as well, which is really handy. As this is just a quick video tutorial to get you up and running, there's one important factor that we need to look at quickly. I'm going to come up to here and select Edit Image. Because the image might not be good enough, the original image that you scanned off. No matter how many times you scan it, you get issues. Once we're in editing mode, come to the right, you've got a number of options, like you can de-skew it. So it will correct skew on an image received from a scanner or a camera. So if it's not come out right, it will straighten it out for you. You've got options here where you can straighten text lines if they're not straight. Rotate and flip. You can crop. So if I drag that down and something you want to crop out of there, let's drag that over to here, like find a dealer, for example. Come back up here, you can do custom, depending on the size, and crop. And I've cropped that out, and I've just cropped find a dealer out. But okay, if you make a mistake, no big deal. Come to edit and undo. Also, invert. So you can actually invert it with the colours. You can see the black background now. Click it again, we'll bring it back for you. maybe you want to change the resolution. But as I scanned it originally in 300 dots per inch, I can't improve on that unless I rescan it in a higher dots per inch. But you can detect optimal resolution, which I believe it's on anyway. Brighten and contrast, levels, and if I come down here, you've got eraser. So I'm going to hold down the left button, and then if I go over it, it will erase it for you. It won't show in your original scan. You can even remove colour marks if you want. So I recommend doing that if it's not a very good original scan, no matter how many times you do it. Just go back to new task. Just go to compare quickly. So if you've got two documents, this is for checking two versions of the same documents, which enables you to spot any textual difference, prevent you from signing or publishing the wrong version. So you can actually check with this and click on it with two to make sure you've got continuity in both documents. And it will show you one on the left, one on the right, and you can check that they are exactly identical. And then last of all, recent, and they're the files that you've actually used or worked with. So this is just a quick video tutorial just to get you up and running. Hope that helps. Thanks for watching.